All right, guys. Um, this is gonna be an interesting video again. Brightness and resources to do everything is a thing. I'm in front of a computer or the TV screen, going to show you AI, the Somniam Files. It's very similar to. Well, let's look at it this way: L.A. Noire cross between excuse me, I gotta back this up a little bit. Might be better. There we go. Cross between L.A. Noire and, say, if you've seen psychological thrillers such as Perfect Blue and I have the name for it. Oh. And just wait, it'll come to me. Perfect Blue. Anyways, this company, or this person, whatever, they like to do psychological thrillers. Is really going to bug me. Paranoia Agent. Thank you, brain. About flipping time. But anyways, like L.A. Noire or say Phoenix Wright or Dr. Layton, you know, those games where you look at a scene and you solve a puzzle. This is very much similar, but it's a psychological thriller, and it's modernized. And it's really an interesting game. I was taking care of personal issues in Texas. I may have mentioned it before, but there's no fixing that screen, is there? Well, it's too bright. I wonder. But anyways, it was a. I'm back now. I wasn't expecting to get this game. I didn't even know they had a physical release of the darn thing, and yeah, I got the special edition. Came with an art book. It's really in its own world as far as how to describe it. Like I said, the best thing I can come up with is the love child between L.A. Noire and Perfect Blue and Paranoia Agent. I'm sure there's plenty of other psychological thrillers just like this. The Cell, kind of, I get kind of a Cell feel out of it, or Seven. You know, those psychological thrillers, suspense thrillers. You're a detective, and this particular detective has a special eye that is computerized. It's literally its own entity named I. Multiple spellings. They make fun of how it's spelled. And you are you can go so far, and she has to look at the crime scene from a distance, but she can zoom in. Has all sorts of smart ways of solving and everything. And 1 minute remaining. All right. Huh. There's no way of making that any brighter, is there? Oh well. I do apologize for the brightness. I've tried to fix it. It's easier to fix the brightness on the switch light. The switch, the standard flagship switch, Still has that issue. I'll try. There's some lighting over here, and it's finished. So, without further, pardon me. That makes it a little better. Let's see if turning off the TV, the lights over in here will help any. And not really. Until I'm able to get better resources to get a screen capture card, guys, this is what we're going to deal with. And it's, let's see here. I've been playing it mostly on the Switch Lite. That's way too darn loud. Excuse me. I'll turn that down. Mostly use this for home cable, home TV for the kids. Sorry. And let's get started. It's a weird one, guys. Choose your language. Hey, okay. I'm starting in English because I speak English. I'm sure it would be fun to understand it in Japanese or Chinese or whatever, but you really need to understand what they're saying. So, you guys, you Puritans about the language, well, you might not like having to be in English, but this is one of those games you really need to understand everything. And I would arguably say how most gamers like to binge their games and play for hours on end. This is one where the recommended taking a break is a thing, because eventually the puzzles start running in on itself and getting confusing after a while. So it would be in your best interest to take a break for 5 minutes or whatever. And I'm just going to play the first part. This is a massive game. I don't know how many hours. I have so many games on backlog. I already basically take breaks from games already. So we're just going to go through and show you what it looks like. It's dark. It's angsty. Oh well. Like I said, there's no fixing that. There really isn't. I'm sorry, guys. Is there any way to fix that? Nope, that doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything. GB range. That doesn't do anything. That doesn't change anything. There is no way to fix the brightness, apparently. Yeah, of course it's up to date. I apologize, guys. This is one of those games where you need to see it, but you can't. I'll try and see what I can do to fix it. Oh goodness, it's so terrible. There's no way to make that any better. Well, I'm gonna have to do it this way then, guys. Hold on. Alright. There is no easy way to fix this. There's no... Is that better? A little bit. Alright, guys. That's really the best I can do. That's his boss. His name is Date, although it really looks like date, which is hilarious. And if you see that little crosshair, it's where to investigate. And it gives you choices. Let's go. You gotta look and choices, and you know, it's just like, it's a different style from LA Noire, but it's an anime style, if you will. Telling you how to look and all that. So, let's go. Okay, that's telling you with the file and all your menus and all that stuff. Select the inspector. Let's go, anything to go on. And he's going to give you a whole bunch of ideas. He said there's nothing to go on. And then let's get his name.
Wow, I never thought a great detective like you would ask me.
You're a detective. And, you know.
Kagami, sir. It's my duty, sir. Thank you.
You know, basic. You know how these games go. I'm not going to get into much further because I can't get a good shot for you guys. I really do apologize on that. I'm not going to ask his name because it's kind of stupid. But it's basic. You go check on the file. You go check. Body is mounted on one of the horses.
Sorry, sir. Could you please not get any closer? We haven't taken any footprints yet. I appreciate your understanding.
You can't get any closer than where you are. And he's giving a... And there you go. Your assistant is named Iva. There. Kind of looks. She's AI ball. Eyeball. Aha. It is a play on words. It's a really interesting creature all in itself. It's a really fun game. Alright, now it's telling you how to control the corpse. Now you click on, now you can use L to zoom and A to look. It's a woman's corpse, so looking didn't do much. So now I have to push on the analog stick, and it gives me a very grisly image. You know? And you look at her face. The left eye socket is vacant.
Victim has had her left eyeball removed.
Left eye.
The most likely scenario is that the killer or killers removed it.
Most definitely the killer or killers removed it.
Well, we don't know that for sure. A crow or some other animal could have pulled it off the corpse.
Impossible. The amount of blood indicates that the victim's
Iba is very smart. The detective is very stupid. There's a lot of that going on. The boss is, well, I'm no rocket scientist, but the boss kind of wants Date. And couldn't be any more obvious if she were a Smurf. Just saying. It's that creepishly, what in the world is going on, Japan? One of those, you know? Let's see here.
multiple puncture wounds to the front of the torso.
No.
Cause of death, blood loss from these wounds.
It's...
Body temperature and rigor mortis indicate the time.
I don't mind these types of games. I kind of liked LA Noire. I kind of liked Perfect Blue. And I saw bits and pieces of Paranoia Agent. Paranoia Agent disappeared off the face of the earth somewhere. And I would have loved to have seen it continue. It was very interesting. After you pursue this your first mission further, one of your likely suspects is a troll, a absolute straw fort troll. He builds multiple accounts and starts trolling his favorite people, which is very like, wow. I didn't know people were that dedicated to doing that, but I've come across a few people that do that. It's sad, really. Make the world think they have friends when they really don't.
I am detecting signs of increased stress in your body. Cortisol and ACTH concentration is...
Date recognizes the victim.
Don't bug me with jargon right now, all right?
Like I said, his boss is basically a nymph. She really, really like is laying it on pretty thick to the pretty numb, ignorant guy who's not paying attention.
Just
And it's very, very interesting on the banter.
I knew her.
I know. Remember that I also saw her several times.
Excuse me.
Though it has been quite some time since we left.
Can't look at the face anymore. I already know all that. Let's exit.
Not too good, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay.
Not yet. We just found the victim.
And yeah, his boss is literally a walking sexual harassment case
Too early to say
in
anything, sure.
this
But
type
this
of
could be a
professional
confidential
work.
report.
That's why you have to ask Japan, what in the world is going on, Japan?
Case 6 years.
Because if you want a professional game, I'm all for professional games. I like, women. I prefer in a professional setting they act and look professional, but beggars can't be choosers. She's not, as of yet, anyways, the entire focal point of the game. I'm sure she will eventually turn into a likely suspect.
It's unusual for this time of year.
But yeah, it even down to the writing of the conversations with the Date and his boss. It's really awkward.
It'll be hard to find any useful print.
Maybe he knows and he's not interested, which is what it looks like. But it's like they really could have written it better.
Metro got a call about it 2 hours
And
ago. Someone heard screaming.
but besides the little love triangle of sorts in this, it's an interesting game. It's worth checking out if you're into this. Like I said, the psychological suspense thrillers.
They found the corpse.
Yeah. Thing is, the caller was. I'll give you the details later. Her name's Nadami Shoko. You knew her, right? What was the relationship like? I heard you two have been close for years.
Yeah, as you can tell, she's laying it on pretty thick.
Like I said, they were just acquaintances.
But I like the art style. I like the way this game is going. It's Halloween. It's October. Halloween, spooky, scary skeletons, and all that. It's a good game to play during Halloween if you're tired of your, I don't know, Resident Evils and your Ghostbusters. I picked up a few other games that have more interest to me right now. The Trine Ultimate series, which is a really, it looks like an interesting platformer. A free range platformer. They have the first 2 games are 2D side scrolling. The third game is actually 3D and 2D combined. I haven't played the fourth game. And basically, you need to use all 3 people, a mage, a rogue archer, and a bronze overbrained soldier, which couldn't be any more stereotypes if there were. I tend to like the archers because they tend to be the most balanced. That game doesn't help that any, but it's really neat to see a platformer use all of your characters to solve puzzles. Yeah, you can arguably say Donkey Kong Country did that a little bit, and Banjo-Kazooie or Ukulele, but not to the extent that Trine has. And I would say Trine would be Latin short for Trinity, as in three people. And I think it's actually properly pronounced as Trine, which is, again, Latin for 3. I think, don't quote me on that. It just seems like a Latin or Greek suffix or prefix for 3. You can look it up and you can tell me if you want. I really don't care to research at the moment. I just know in my heart that that's right. Anyways, it's an interesting game. This game, I have to play in small doses, honestly.
You're a member of Abyss. I called you here to inspect the scene.
Sure, boss.
Usually, no. Yes, you know this woman, don't you? I had to tell you.
Yeah.
What's that?
I'm gonna get out of this. It's such a cringe it's really a cringe to get into. But that concludes my. I'm gonna get in better lighting now. Now that the thing is over. I'm sorry, guys. The whole video even. There, lighting's better. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. This concludes my video. There's not much to really say about it. You guys have a wonderful evening.